Welcome to Connect, where we go beyond Sunday. This is your weekly talk show where we integrate the Word of God to real life issues, talking about matters in the marketplace, matters at home. And today we have once again Betty Muthoni Gashie. And when Betty is in the house, you know we are talking about legal matters, and we are simplifying those complicated legal issues because we learned from our last episode that the law exists to protect you. Remember, you can share with us your comments using the email address provided below. You can also make use of the comment section and let us know how this information is helping you, is beneficial to you. Intellectual property. Last episode, we talked about what it is, and we are answering the question, what is this big thing called intellectual property? And we really went down to simplify it so that everybody can understand. And we have received feedback. People have been able to break down, some really appreciating that they can protect their creations. And maybe for that person who has not been able to connect with that last episode, and I encourage you to connect with that episode. It's on our YouTube channel at Parklands Baptist Church. Connect, and you will get more details of what we talked about. But just in terms of a recap, intellectual property, what is it, so that we can go to the classifications?
So as we said last week, it's basically the creations of your mind. And there are many classifications which we will go into details. But basically, any creation that you make becomes an intellectual property that needs to be protected.
So we raised the importance of protecting that which is original. And my take home from the last episode, it was really an eye-opener when you said, before you share your idea out there, before you release it, protect it. Yes. I think you need to re-emphasize that point.
Yes.
Because as I said, and as we observed, today because of social media, when an idea just pops up, the first place somebody wants to run to is to display it to the world. And then what happens? Somebody just picks it up. And immediately they make money. And I even left thinking, having a feeling that there are probably people who are in the business of scouting for ideas that are not protected. I don't know whether I'm very far from being right in that observation.
So, for example, in the music industry, piracy, where people have taken music content and downloaded it and copied it rather than buy the original song. So the songwriter doesn't get paid because we just simply downloaded it. Or you plagiarize a book, a poem, and then make it look like it's your own. And it means that the original author, the original songwriter, doesn't get paid because you took it down as your own.
Then it is very important, and I think that is the message that we want to pass across. In the last episode, we did identify the wealth of creativity among our young people. And you brought up the aspect that in times of crisis, it is those who are gifted that thrive. So that even right now, when we are talking about hardship in, maybe our economy, or, the difficulties that we could be facing as a society, that young person listening to us could have a solution,
Yes.
an idea.
Yes.
But if they don't protect it, we can pick it. It solves our problems, but that young man remains as they are. And I'm thinking, for example, it is from Kenya that we have one of the biggest revolutionary idea when it comes to the financial sector. And it's simply called M-Pesa. It's a Kenyan grown idea. But it has revolutionized the way we do engage in financial transactions today. You can send money from wherever, the entire globe, and in an instant, somebody is sorted. Is that the value we are talking about? Is that the value we are placing on ideas?
Yes, yes. I don't know, you recall before M-Pesa, you literally had to go to a bank. And part of the solution of M-Pesa is that you don't have to have a bank account. You don't have to physically have money. You can send it in the comfort of a phone that sits in your pocket. That's revolutionary. And so why are we protecting this? Is that by protecting, you encourage innovators to continue innovating. If we're not paying for it, why would you feel there would be no incentive to create something else? And that is why countries that really respect intellectual property, like United States, have the largest number of innovators because they see the value of it. And that's what we need to promote, so that people begin to say, oh, my idea is valuable. Therefore, let me register it so that it can revolutionize the world, provide solutions to the world.
Talking of ideas, the Bible tells us in Exodus 31, and I just want to bring in this aspect that you should not look down on your idea. Your gift is your wealth. And so when somebody is sitting somewhere and thinking, I don't have any wealth, and wealth is different from money, money leads to wealth. And when somebody is seated there and they're just thinking, I don't have anything, yet they have a gift, they may never know that that gift could mean the difference between where they are and where they ought to be. But it could also mean the difference between what the current world looks like and what the future world would look like. You just gave an example with money transaction today. I remember also, if you were to send money to the village, you would go to some place, register the money, and it is literally carried. And whoever is on the other end, that's the only way they will receive that money. And it can get lost somewhere along the way. Yes. And so you are thinking what that world looked like and the world we are living in now, that the difference is in between. The difference is an idea. And that idea is not from the blues, is from somebody's mind and creativity. Hence, the intellectual property. So Exodus tells us, 31, talks about what God did. Then the Lord said to Moses, "See, I have chosen Bezalel, son of Uri, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah, and I have filled him with the Spirit of God, with wisdom, with understanding, with knowledge, and with all kinds of skills, to make artistic designs for work in gold, silver, and bronze, to cut and set stones, to work in wood, and to engage in all kinds of crafts." I'm reading the Bible. "Moreover, I have appointed Oholiab, son of Ahisamach, of the tribe of Dan, to help him. Also, I have given ability to all the skilled workers to make everything I have commanded you." Now, let me give you context of this passage. God is instructing Moses. He's given him some specifications for the altar, for the holy place, for the tent of meeting, for specific things that are supposed to be in that altar and in that tent of meeting. He has even given him specifications of the clothing the priests are to wear. All this was from God's mind, given to Moses. Then he says, "I have now placed my Spirit. I have chosen an individual. And it is this individual called by name to enable God's idea to be actualized to the letter." And that is how serious then that young man, that young lady seated there with a gift. And God knows specifically that gift is in so and so. That's how serious we need to take the creativity, the ideas that God has given us. Does this sound like it is integrating with the world, the legal world of intellectual properties, as we go now to the classifications?
Yes. You know, each human being is created so unique. We were earlier talking about, we sing songs that were sung by somebody else. But however much we copy, it doesn't quite sound like the original. And that is why when you pirate, plagiarize, try and sing somebody else's song, it doesn't quite come out like the original. And that is why they keep telling us, be an original. Don't be a copy. So we need to begin to respect that original work, because that original work is here. They say even twins, when you look at the internal chromosomes, they're not
the same.
100% identical.
Okay, that's serious.
So each one of us has a unique gift that can never be copied. And that is why respecting that original art, original creator is very important. Yeah.
There is nothing like original.
Copy.
You can never get anything, you know, it is either original or it's original.
Okay.
You know, you can, and so the original goes with the creator. And through intellectual property, protection is both to the creator and to the original creation. And hence protecting and giving benefit, not only to the creator, but also now to everybody else who, at the end of the day, enjoys. So maybe somebody is asking, so what are the items, or what are the services that can be protected under this intellectual property? And maybe some details now, going into the details part of it.
Okay.
What are those specifics that then our viewers and listeners can say, oh, that's where mine falls. That's where mine falls. And this is how I can benefit from it.
Okay. So I'll go through about 5 intellectual property classifications. There are probably more, but I think the ones that would be pertinent for Kenya would be those ones. Patents. Patents are products that are new and novel, and they are protected for a set period. And usually they are protected for the lifetime of that exclusive right, so that you can manufacture and sell the product. Then we have copyrights. Copyrights includes artistic creations, whether it be songs, whether it be poems, whether it be artistic drawing, whether it be music. And they are created for the original work of the authorship, and usually those are protected for about 50 years from the time they are produced. Patents are usually protected only 20 years. But different countries have different legal framework, but in Kenya, these are usually then a number of years. Trademark, I'm sure you've used trademark. And trademark is usually a sign that helps distinguish goods or services. For example, we have M-Pesa, we have Google, we have Microsoft. How do you know it's Microsoft? How do you know it's M-Pesa? It has a sign distinctive to that product. And it's a way of helping marketers distinguish different products. And again, that is protected for the lifetime of the business.
Okay.
Then we talked about trade secret. And trade secret is a sort of different one, because this one is one that I said you don't register, but you protect the secret of the information so that it becomes protected. But once it's out there, then it's no longer protected. And I gave the example of Coca-Cola, which has been a trade secret for the years of Coca-Cola.
So maybe at that point, when we talk of a trade secret, you're saying it's not registered anywhere. But I'm just thinking, how has Coca-Cola managed to keep, because they say it's a formula. There was even a time they did an advert, and it was kind of, it's like they want to reveal the secret, then they show how hidden that secret is.
Yes.
I have worked for Coca-Cola, for example.
Yes.
I have been in the plant, in the production line. I'll definitely come across this formula. Or that's not possible.
I doubt. Only the people who actually make it, and you are sworn to secrecy.
Okay. So it's an internal mechanism.
Yes,
like I have signed, if I have come across this.
Yes.
I cannot divulge this information or use it to the disadvantage
exactly
of the organization.
But you point something unique about trade secret. It's very difficult to keep a trade secret. And that is why many trade secrets don't last for long. Coca-Cola has managed to do it. I don't know how they've managed to do it for that long. But the beauty about a trade secret is that you don't have a timeline as to when you'll have it protected, so long as it stays as a secret. And that's why Coca-Cola has been able to have this trade secret for over 200 years. I think it's close to 200 years. And then you now become a monopoly because
of that particular one.
Product, yes. Whereas for the others, the timelines is identified 20 years, we say for patents, 50 years for artistic productions. So and then trademarks are for the lifetime of the business. Then the fifth type is unique to Africa or countries where you have traditional knowledge. And traditional knowledge is unique in that whereas all the others, the creator is usually one or two, a group of people. In traditional knowledge is the whole community.
Okay.
So you have the Kisi community, the Kikuyu community, the Luo, the Luya, the Kalenjin. And each one of them had a certain way of doing things. They have their art, they have their music, they have their artistic creations, they have their way they treated people. And now, since 2016, we have now begun to recognize that. And I keep saying this is where Africa now we can begin to protect, but also manufacture some of those traditional knowledge and be able to give community rights to within this traditional knowledge.
You know, when you talk about Africa, maybe from the Kenyan context, you will not fail to see a Maasai show up somewhere.
Yes.
You know, if we are talking about Kenyan safari, when we want to talk about Kenya, really, the greatest, I don't know, I could be wrong, but my experience has been one of the community that has marketed Kenya or has been identified, Kenya has been identified with, is the Maasai community.
Yes.
Is there something there that they will be benefiting from as a community?
Well, they are already benefiting from their jewelry. I mean, we talk about the Maasai jewelry. Okay. And now it's sold out to the rest of the world and it's marketed as Maasai jewelry. We can talk about their dance. Every time the jumping, the
high jump.
Yes. And whereas now, because we came into this traditional knowledge later, there is no specific protection, but we now identify it as not just Kenyan, but Maasai. So you give recognition. But if we were to, for example, manufacture the different herbs the Maasais use, they go selling herbs. What's in those herbs? Somebody needs to do some scientific study and have it manufactured. Once it's manufactured, it is protected and we give recognition that this was an original healing medication from the Maasais. India has done that very well. For example, turmeric. Turmeric is a spice. And turmeric is a spice that's been known to help in the healing of arthritis. And the Indian community is now making ownership as the original people who used turmeric in the healing of arthritis. They have not yet protected, but they are getting recognition
for that.
Another one that I think we need to think about is what we call geographical indications. The French do that very well with their wines. Wines are grown in specific areas and they have a unique taste. What's Kenya known for in terms of
coffee?
Coffee,
yeah,
tea, world over.
Our tea is real tea.
Yes. And it has a good reputation. There's a way you can register that tea, that coffee, and it will fetch higher prices in the market because it is distinctive taste that's known to Kenyan tea, to Kenyan coffee. So we are saying it's not Bangladesh tea. So when it goes into the market and we are quickly saying this is Kenyan tea, it is geographical indication which now provides a higher market value because of its already high reputation. And those are some of the things that now help fetch more money for our markets.
I realize there is something for everyone. There is something for everyone. There is, you could have tea from even a specific part of our country.
Yes, yes.
That has been identified to have its unique taste. So that when I go to the market, I'm not just looking for tea.
Yes, I'm
looking for tea from
Kericho.
Kericho, you know?
Yes.
Something like that.
Yes.
You mentioned at least one of them.
Yes.
And for our young people, I think our message here is your gift is very important. That poetry, that song, that tune. I know there are some young people who are just good at coming up with tunes. They don't have the lyrics, but they have the tune. You can protect that tune. That drawing, that app. Young people are now coming up with so many apps. That app, you can protect it.
Yes.
And it can benefit the world, but also benefit you. And so here at Connect, we are inviting you to consider the gift that God has given you, the talent, the idea, the creativity. Consider it as a very important asset to you. Protect that asset. Paul, speaking to Timothy, told him, fan into flame the gift. And I am here to tell you, protect that gift. It could be the difference between the world we are living today and the future that we need in the world. This has been Connect, where we go beyond Sunday. God bless you.